Hello, everyone. We are going to go ahead and get started. This is Mike Gilbert. I'm glad to be with you tonight for our July Epic corporate call. Thanks for joining us on a hot summer night. It's hard to believe, but we are now halfway through 2025. Hope it's been a great year for you so far. But our goal tonight is to specifically get you on the track towards an even better second half of 2025. There is still time to make this your best year ever, including your best year ever in Epic. And tonight we're going to do everything we can to set the stage for that, to put you in the position to do so, and also to provide for you some inspiration from a very special guest who, if you just simply follow his guidance and do exactly what he advises you, you will actually have a wonderful July, a wonderful summer, and you'll be rocking it through the rest of this year as you build your Epic business. So first and foremost, we want to welcome all of our new representatives. We know we have a couple new folks on the call tonight for the first time. And if that's you, then we just say to you, congratulations. You've made a wonderful decision. You've joined a business that not only offers you the opportunity to make residual income, but actually above and beyond that, through our Benefits of Equity program, allows you to actually earn a stake in the future success of the entire company. And that's something that no other business in this industry offers, has ever offered, and probably ever will. No one has the courage to put that on the table for their representatives, but we do. And so that means you have the best of both worlds. Not only that, but you've joined a family of entrepreneurs. And that's extremely important too, because that means that we've got your back, whether it's here at corporate or whether it's your upline and anybody else in the organization. Because of Benefits of Equity, everybody has a stake in your success. So don't be shy. Make sure you ask for that help. Make sure you follow the lead of your leaders, whether it's your direct sponsor or their upline, or frankly, the people you hear from on these calls and in our trainings. It's just a wonderful time to be in this business. You've joined at a great time. We have great products. We have a great compensation plan. We have great people. And that's really all you ever need in business. So welcome aboard. And sit back, grab a pen and paper. You're going to want to take some notes. First of all, with some of the promotions, you're going to want to make sure you understand them, but also just to make sure with the training that you receive at the end from our guest speaker that you don't miss a note. Now, before we get going, one last time, we want to make sure everyone's on the new text distribution list. This is to make sure that you're getting just the most important updates. We don't text very often, but it just makes sure you know and you don't miss something really important. If you're not on that list already, it's very, very simple. You can either scan this QR code and you can automatically sign up for the text list, or you can text the word EPIC, doesn't have to be capitals, doesn't really matter, to the phone number 855-957-5608. I'll give you just a moment there to scan that or to text that in or write it down. We want you on that distribution list so we know all of the active Epic representatives, and so we can speak to you in one voice when the really important stuff is going out. All right. Before we get to some well-deserved recognition, we want to make sure you're aware of a couple great deals that are on the table for you. As always, every Friday, we release an Epic Deal of the Week. Now, this being Tuesday, you've only got a few days left to take advantage of this, but it is an amazing, amazing offer. In fact, I'm not sure this is probably the most aggressive offer that we put out there, which is a 40% off opportunity on any purchase of at least $300. 40% off of purchases of $300 or more. That is unbelievable. But to sweeten it even more, this is just ridiculous. You're also going to get double points on that order. So it's a win-win all the way around. You can still get 30% off on 150 or more, plus the same double points. And then you still have a chance to earn at least an extra point on your order with any order of at least $50. 10% off on 50 plus, 15% off on 75 plus, 20% off on $100 or more. But again, if you break that 150 threshold, you're going to get 30% off that order. That's at least $50 off if you do the math, and 40% off on 300 or more, which is at least a $120 savings. Awesome. But you just have till midnight Friday. So make sure you jump on that. You can see all the details on this promo and our summer gift bundle. We have 5 special mini bundles. You can take a look at what those are on the website. Both of these promos are available for you to view at myepic.store. You can go right to /flash sale or click the flash sale link in the header, and that'll take you right to these deals. All right, let's talk about a couple of the promotions that we've got going on for the month of July. This was a popular one, so we're repeating it. The play ball promotion. It is summer and it is America's game, so we're putting it back on the table for you to actually promote to your next pin level with just based on your production in July alone. This is unique because normally your pin level is a function of your total organizational structure, but this gives you a chance to promote with just the July performance. And it's very simple. If you're an IMR currently, you can promote to executive trainer with just one new enrolled IMR and $50 in personal customer volume achieved in the month of July. You can promote to from ET to ED with just 2 IMRs enrolled in your ET open line. So if you're an ET now, as long as those 2 IMRs in your ET open line and you have $75 in personal customer volume, you'll actually jump from ET to ED. And this is the big one. This is incredible. To get from ED to ND, you just need 4 new IMRs enrolled in your ED open line. They don't have to all be front line to you, into your ED open line, and $125 in personal customer volume. That is amazing. And you can actually stack these promos. So for example, if you're an IMR now, you could get yourself to ET in the next few days. From there, you can go from ET to ED with 2 more new IMRs, and you could conceivably even jump all the way up to ND if you get to ED and then achieve the requirements to go from ED to ND. So this is only the first of the month right now. This is a rarity where we have our call on the very first of the month on a month with 31 days. You literally have 31 days. And with, quite frankly, if you do the math, if you're an IMR now, you could actually get an ND by the end of the month by just bringing 7 partners into your organization and a bunch of new customers. So check this out on the promos website. If you don't understand it, definitely talk to your upline, and your upline can also help you map out a plan to achieve this. Another promotion on the table, this is for new IMRs. So the previous promotion was obviously for existing partners. This is for folks that join the business this month. Anyone who joins in the month of July with Platinum Plus and then maintains their Platinum Plus for 3 consecutive months will actually receive an extra 250 benefits of equity shares. That's a great carrot to put out there after you've presented the opportunity and you know they're already interested, but this can just be that icing on the cake. And it also gives you that avenue to really talk about benefits of equity and help your prospect understand what that puts on the table, what that brings to their business and to the potential earnings that they can make in this opportunity. All right. Well, I also want, before we get to the leaderboards, I want to congratulate a newly promoted executive director, Philip Hudson. Congratulations. That is a phenomenal achievement. And we're glad to have you in the ranks of ED. Also, we've got 4 members of the $250 CV Club. That means all 4 of these individuals are getting a $100 bonus for their production in the month of May. Remember, this recognition lags by 1 month, so these are May's customer clubs. Congratulations, of course, to Patricia Lloyd, as always, also to Jamel Meeks, Yvonne Graham, and Teddy and Vicky Moore. Way to lead from the front, all of these great leaders. Now let's talk about the production leaders. First, customer production. Our top customer producer at Open Line ET, ED, ND, and SVP. Congratulations to tonight's guest speaker, Teddy and Vicky Moore. So that is what a month for Teddy to be our guest speaker. He's clearing the leaderboards here. And again, as I mentioned earlier, leading from the front. That's what we like to see in our SVPs. However, he would like nothing more. Teddy and Vicky would like nothing more than for you to supplant him on next month's leaderboard. He does not want this lead. He'd rather be in the trenches doing his thing and watching others around him succeed. So let's make it a point to have somebody topple Teddy and Vicky at all of these levels in the August recognition. And Open Line Platinum Senior Vice President, congratulations to our top customer producer, Dave and Carol Silverman. IMR production for the month of June. Our top producer at Open Line ET, a tie with Philip Hudson and Evian Brantley. Congratulations. For Open Line ED, ND, and SVP, we also have a tie with Teddy and Vicky Moore and Jovens Moncourt. And our top IMR producer at Open Line PSVP, congratulations, Dave and Carol Silverman. All right, it's at this point in the call that it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, who I just alluded to a moment ago. He's a gentleman that I always learn something from, but more importantly, from my perspective, he is always a source of encouragement, always a source of positivity, and you can never get enough of that in life, in this business, and from among your peers. So I'm always appreciative when I get to talk with Teddy one-on-one, of course, but when he is in this kind of environment and he can spill his knowledge to our entire team, it's all the better. So please join me in welcoming our special guest speaker tonight, Senior Vice President Teddy Moore. Hello, Teddy, you on the call?
Yes, I am. I'm thinking about letting my picture do the talking for me. Hello, everybody. It is great to have everyone on our call today. First of all, I want to give it back. Now, let's put us back on the frame. I can kind of get in my element when I see everybody, if we don't mind. I don't want to be the only one in front where everybody's looking. I want to see if we can get everybody on the call. So whoever's engineering the board, if you don't mind, put everybody's face on there, because we have something special tonight. There we go. We have something special. Listen, before I get started, well, first of all, let me just give it back to Mike Gilbert, our Chief Operation Officer. I told Mike 9 years ago, I said, at first I thought he was the second smartest person in the world, and I found out my nephew was, so Mike went down to third, and my brother just got his doctor's degree last year. So Mike, you're in fourth place. Mike is the fourth smartest person in the world. So Mike's a rock. I've learned so much from him and his dedication. You're going to hear me tonight. I'm going to give you a lot of good stuff, so make sure you grab some of the right way. But I am so excited over this call. I got to give it back to Cynthia and her amazing staff. She has a staff over 200,000. No, two people. I'm sorry. I thought it was 200,000 because they do so much work. Got to give it back to Danette and got to give it back to Amber. I tell you, they are running an amazing group of coordinating and working with the field. It's amazing that they wear so many hats. I mean, we're blessed by the best, and I got to give it back to the chairman, Mr. Nelson Gerard. I told a story one time, and now you all know the story in the Bible when they when they was gonna when the I forgot the gentleman's name, but he was gonna slay his son, and before he got ready, Abraham was going to slay his son, and before he slayed his son, there was a ram in the bush. And I used to always talk about Nelson Gerard is our ram in the bush. He's an amazing person. He's a father. He's a businessman. He loves sports, and that's what I admire about him, because I think me and him could talk about sports all night long. Even though we both done got to the age where we can play horse, and some of y'all know what that is. They play sports, but we love sports, and we put everything else into it. If you could mute your line out, or whoever's running the board, please mute them out if you don't mind. But I just got to give it back to him. I thank God for him every single day. I just want to give a little bit about my background to some, just a little to let you know who's on here. And also, I want to thank all the guests on tonight. We gonna have some fun tonight. Uh, uh, Corporate has given us the complete autonomy to do something they never done before. So if your camera's on, you're going to be a part of this tonight. You're going to get a gift from corporate, and they got a nice little baggie of gifts set up. Now, they couldn't put a car inside the bag, but it's going to be worth the while. So every 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to pause for the calls. I'm going to come up for a little oxygen, and I'm going to ask Cynthia from Oxygen to come on, and she's going to pick a name. So if you're on there, don't be surprised if you get picked. Okay, if you get picked, matter of fact, we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and give you the number. Well, we'll give you the number later, so you won't hang up. So you have to get your gift. So, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna give away some giveaways, and we just do it because representatives come first. I've never been in a company like this. I've been around the industry for a long time. I have about 34 years under my belt. A little bit about my background. I retired from the United States Army, and I want to salute everyone who's been in the armed forces, and also I want to salute those who have supported service members, because some of you all have family members and relatives who are supporting the Army. I just want to salute you all. I did 11 years at the state of Georgia. I worked and I work with at-risk teenagers. Some of you all in your 30s or early 40s, you might have heard a little rapper called Little Scrappy. He was one of my cadets at a Youth Challenge Academy. And also right now, as an activity I do, I referee every level of basketball but the NBA. You know, I just turned 68 years young. Some of you all had promised to send me a birthday gift on Father's Day through text, through a Cash App, but you didn't send it. Don't worry about it. We can wait till next year, if the Lord's willing. And I'm also Vicky and I, we're associate pastors of. We've been married now for 42 years, and we have 3 children, 5 grandchildren, and believe it or not, we have 3 great. So I come from a pretty big family in Lorain, Ohio. My mom was a triplet back in 1975 when and I'm saying all this because this kind of leads up to what I'm going to talk about tonight, because you're in the right place at the right time. And I pray that something I may say tonight may motivate you, may encourage you, may move you to the next envelope, because you're not here on this Zoom tonight for happenstance. It's a reason why you're on here. You're really destined for greatness. And I know where I came from. My mom was a triplet. And when my grandfather died in 1975, he had 71 grandkids. In 81 and in 1985, there was 81 grandkids, and now I'm a great grandfather. So we have a clan. I have a big organization. I'm still working on my hot market. They say, "Who is cousin Teddy?" Well, I'm your third cousin to your cousin's cousin. So anyway, make a long story short, it's just been a great ride, and I enjoy the industry of network marketing. A lot of people say they don't like to do sales, but let me tell you this about sales. Sales is the highest paid profession because you get paid for what you're worth. And in this company, you're going to find out through some of the things I'm going to talk about. This is the only company that I know, the only industry I know that you can write your own check. By a show of hands, anybody want to write their own check? Anybody? Anybody? Look, all those hands going up. Some of you all are putting both of them up, say, I surrender all. That's right. You can write your own check in this company. And what we're going to do, I'm going to ask a few people to come on before I get started to tell you about these amazing products that we have. See, what intrigues me the most, and first time I had opportunity to talk to Mr. Gerard, we had gone to Jamaica. They had sent all the most of the senior vice presidents to Jamaica, and I want to give it back to all my counterpartners, all my senior vice presidents in Platinum Zone. I haven't forgot you, but I just want to say that me and Mr. Gerard was having a conversation, and I told him, I said, I really appreciate you coming out with health and wellness, because that's what it's about. To me, your health is your wealth. And I want you to get that down. If there's ever a nugget you need to put in there, put that nugget in there. Put my health is my wealth. And you can use that part of your conversation. Because if you don't have good health, wealth means nothing. So now, and I was talking to Mr. Ra, and I said, I used to be in a company called Herbalife about 34 years ago. And I said, the only problem you're gonna have is a high class problem. He said, what kind of problem is that, Teddy? And I said, well, supply and demand. Because one thing about our products, when the products get in you, then you got to tell the story. It's like a good movie. It's like a good restaurant. You're gonna tell somebody about, and watch this. Sometimes you could be a secret agent about oxygen. You might not want to say anything, but they're gonna ask you. They're gonna say, you got a pep in your step. Somebody asked me today, and he's on right now. He says, let me ask you a question. I appreciate you inviting me on tonight, but where do you get all that energy? And I say, through the grace of God, but I take CBD products. And I'm straight up. I don't sugarcoat nothing. If it ain't in my heart, if it's not in my body, if it's not doing what it said it's supposed to do, then I wouldn't have the belief. And when you have belief, you have conviction. When you have conviction, you have compassion. And in this business, because it's relationship marketing, I want you to remember that you have to have compassion because people don't want to be sold, they want to buy. And they don't care about your intellect. You may be smart, you may have what they say more degrees than a thermometer. That don't mean nothing. It's what's in your heart because it doesn't matter, and you heard this before, how much you know. What matters is how much you care. Okay? So, I'm going to grab somebody out of my audience. And when I call your name, I pray that you're on here. And matter of fact, I know somebody's on. Let me start with, because Captivita. I heard Senior Vice President Jamel Meeks talk about, and Senior Vice President Sean Knowles, I think Senior Vice President Shonda Parker, he talked about reset. And I thought about that a couple of months ago. They was talking about reset with the Captivita. I think Captivita should be one of the number one products that we have. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. It's because I was diagnosed with diabetes probably in 2005, 20 years ago. And I really wasn't, I'm like the Chairman Nelson. He said he don't like taking all that stuff. So when the cream came out and the different creams he took that, never had to take those, forgot what he was taking. I think some type of aspirins or something he was taking, but he said he don't have to take it anymore. So I heard them talk about reset on the Captivita, and it's not always somebody who has diabetes. It has glucose support, or you can drop a few pounds, or you could it's prevention. I've heard from one of the leaders said prevention is better than cure. That's what this whole thing's about. I'm gonna lead into some good stuff, so don't go nowhere. We're gonna sit in the kids' home and we're gonna go up in the shelf and get the good stuff. I got some stuff stashed for the ones that stay on here, okay? Y'all, some of y'all know what I'm talking, especially the ones from New York. They know about how you keep stuff up in the cupboard stash. When the old company leaves, quit shaking your head, Yvonne. You know what I'm talking about. So here's the thing: is that I got serious with this Captivita. I said I'm gonna do what the bottle says. The bottle says take them for the maximum optimum use, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. That's what I did. For 45 days straight, that's what I did. And the thing about it, if you're a guest on this line, we can tell you how you can become a discounted customer and get your own membership just like Costco's and get you a group family plan at a great discount. You heard them just talk about 40% off. So my God, you're talking about less than $65, $70 a bottle that would probably cost you $120 on the market. But anyway, I went back to the doctor, and the doctor took my blood for my A1C. And he called me up 3 days later. He said, Mr. Moore, I am so excited to tell you your A1C went from an 8.9 down to a 7.1. Now, that might not mean a lot for you because you don't understand diabetes, but when you know that diabetes can cause you for blindness, heart attacks, loss of limbs. I mean, I've talked to friends over the years about Captivita, and they didn't take it serious. I'm not going against doctors. Some of you all probably in the medical field, I'm not going against that. I'm talking about something natural to help your glucose, to help your pancreas to produce insulin properly so you'll get the right blood flow. And here's another thing I can say, and I'm gonna bring a few people on real quick for about 2 minutes and talk about their results. But I can tell you that what happens is that because of the Captivita, it takes away certain cravings. It allows your circulation to work even better in your body. And when you start having that circulation working proper in your body, everything else start happening for you. So that's kind of my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to bring on Amber because Amber works with corporate. She works up under Cynthia's organization. I mean, up under her tutelage. But Amber, when I heard her story, I said that was amazing. And Amber, if you're on the line, if you could unmute and share with the family. This is the family on here. Hey, Mr. McCord, I'm glad you're on because you're up next. Okay. So Amber, if you could go ahead and take it away. You got 2 minutes. I'm timing you. Go.
Thank you, Teddy. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Wonderful. Hello, Epic and Oxygen family. So this is a very interesting story. I'm very happy to report that although I don't have glucose challenges, um, after going through COVID and ordering a lot of delivery food, when it slowed down at the office, we decided to eat lunches in. I gained massive weight. I was up to 198 pounds and taking Captivita. I started probably around April of last year. I take 3 in the morning around 7:30. I take another 3 as directed because it says 3 twice a day for best results. I take another 3 around 1 p.m. Now, again, I don't have glucose challenges, but I do a lot of fasting. And my version of fasting is I drink my Captivita in the morning with the Coca-Cola because, again, I don't have glucose challenges, but I don't generally eat breakfast or lunch, and then I have whatever I want for dinner. But with all of that, just taking it as directed, I've had amazing results. Now, I have now lost over 60 pounds. I went from 198 down to 138. Um, I wish I could show you the video, but it's not letting me do that right now. But I would love for you guys to know that it's not just for people that are having glucose challenges. It is an absolutely amazing product. I still pretty much eat what I want. And I love every minute of it. My 16, nearly 16-year-old daughter in a couple months, next month, as a matter of fact, is now fighting me for the clothes that I donated to her once I gained the weight. So I am loving every minute of it, especially being down here in Florida for the beach season. So guys, if you haven't tried it yet, you definitely need to get it. Take it as directed because you're going to get absolutely amazing results.
Wow, I appreciate it. Let's give it up to Amber. Let's give it up to her. That's life changing. That's a whole new person. You know, if you was trying to dodge somebody, Amber, you probably could walk past and they wouldn't even know who you are now. Congratulations. I want to move over to my brother from another mother. I got the greatest respect for this guy, and he's a no nonsense guy. He's a grit. What do you say? Grits and potatoes, nuts and bolts. But he's out of New York, and I love him to life. His name is he's a platinum in our company. I know some of you guests don't know what platinums are, but he's the top person. He's one that we go to for a lot of knowledge, and he has an amazing testimony dealing with the Captivate as well. So I go out there to New York. Mr. Jovis Moncor, you have the mic, sir.
Hi, good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. Teddy, what a great call. I want to congratulate everyone for the great performance. Let's double and triple that this month. I just want to talk about the Captivita. I haven't been diagnosed with diabetes or anything like that, but I take it daily as a prevention and weight management. What I find that it does for me when I take it, I have energy and I'm not as hungry all the time. And I'm able to go out there and work out. People are starting to say, "Hey, Joven, you're losing a lot of weight. What are you doing?" I'm on the Captivita and the tincture. Those are the two things that I take. But I do want to talk about a couple of other people that do take the Captivita. One person had tingling in her fingers, and she was diagnosed as a pre-diabetic. She was very nervous, didn't know exactly what to do. I've been telling her about the Captivita for a while. Then she decided to finally take it. And every time she takes the Captivita, she literally, the tingling goes away. Not only that the tingling goes away, she's losing weight naturally. She used to have blurry vision. The blurry vision has gone away. After 2 months of taking the Captivita, I suggested that she takes it along with the CBD. And she said, listen, Jovens, this is amazing. I don't know what's in this thing. She should soon be a business partner. She's so impressed by the products. She should soon be a business partner. So what I'm telling you guys is share the products with people, share your testimony, share your story. Because maybe people that don't even think about, haven't thought about being a distributor, because they see the results themselves, they might be business partners. Another one this week, I just sold a Captivita. I want to thank Cynthia um, and the team. I called her on Sunday, and it was an off day to expedite Captivita for me. A young lady that was actually my wife's brother's wife. I'm not sure exactly what to call her, what her title would be, but my wife's brother's wife. They came to my house a couple of weeks ago, and I always have a Captivita and tinctures on deck. She wasn't feeling well. Her eyes were kind of blurry. She said maybe her blood sugar is a little bit high. And I said, you know what? I have this Captivita. Take it before you go back on the road, because she lives in New Jersey. She had about an hour drive from where I was living. And she took some CBD. Guess what, guys? Within about 10 to 15 minutes, she said, my eyesight got a lot better. Okay, the blurriness went away, the fatigue went away, and she drove back home. So she just purchased the CBD and the tincture on Sunday. But let me tell you what, she's extremely entrepreneurial. She's a businesswoman, and she has a strong following in her network because she does a lot of investing, and she has all these investing groups she's involved in. So guys, if you know me, if you have your thinking caps on, what do you think my next move is going to be? I'm going to leave it to Teddy on that one. Thank you guys for having me on.
Great, I appreciate it, Joe. As I tell you, this is amazing. Make sure it's going to be recorded, so make sure you show it to people who couldn't get on. People just don't realize, because see, no one that I'm calling on even knew I was going to call on them tonight. They didn't know. This is not pre-scripted. So I'm just calling people out. I'm only going to call 2 more out. One person didn't even know I was going to call him out, but he set it off for us a couple of years ago when it cut. And matter of fact, he made his own video, so he didn't know I was going to call him, but we call him the doctor. Dr. Sherman Chambers, I know you didn't expect it. I know, go ahead and unmute that line. And he got us started with this Captivita. And when I heard his story 6-7 years ago, it was an amazing, life-changing story. So, Mr. Chambers, I got you on the clock. Your time starts now. Take it away, Doctor and Platinum Senior Vice President, Miss Ann Chambers. Take it away, Dr. Chambers.
What a wonderful surprise. Thank you very much, Teddy. Good evening, everyone. I just want to add about Captivita. I was blessed actually to be a part of the trial study when this was first launched. And I just want to thank our owner, and I'm just going to say owner. He doesn't own us, but he is our CEO, and I'm talking about Nelson Gerard. I'm so thankful for having him to bring that product on. It has changed my life. I was on insulin, and I was also taking tablets. I think I was on metformin at that particular time. And so I noticed some changes in my weight. I noticed some changes in my blood glucose levels. They were really, really very high because, to be honest, I wasn't eating the way I was supposed to do. I knew better, but I have a sweet tooth, and I still fight that sweet tooth. But thank God we have Captivita to help us to take care of those issues. I'm just so happy to be able to just share my story. And everybody's story, of course, is different, but the fact that out of 6 siblings, all of us in my family got diabetes when we were in our about 40s, okay, and maybe 50. So I've lost a brother and a sister to Captivita because of the diseases that come with that. And I'm blessed to still be here. I'm proud to say I'm 77, soon to be 78 years old, and I'm looking forward to even more years. But I'm going to continue taking Captivita as long as it's available, because it definitely makes a difference in our lives. I'm not sure if Ann wants to say anything right now, but she's on Captivita too. She's not a diabetic like Amber, but it's helping her to lose weight. So we got some awesome products that we just want to continue to share with everybody. And Teddy, I just want to thank you for bringing us on.
You're welcome.
And thank you.
No, but she's okay. I got to go to one more real quick. But no, you spoke for you and your wife, because if you taking it, she taking it too. Y'all two peas in a pot.
Thank you.
So that's great. Congratulations. Congratulations. I love you guys. Okay,
Thank
so
you, Teddy.
I want to swing right over to someone who's almost melting away. So I want to bring him on real quickly, and then we're going to go ahead and do a quick drawing, because I got two more, and then we're going to get into the meat of some of the training. I want to bring to we call him Day One Dave, and he's been around since day one. And his story is amazing. When you see him, you're gonna be like, "That's not Mr. Silverman. No, that's not the same guy I saw 2 months ago." So, double platinum Dave Silverman, if you're on the line, could you take the helm? Your 2 minutes just started now. Are you there, Mr. Silverman? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Who did you call, Teddy?
Dave Silverman
I think Dave
is muted.
Okay, he's still there? Okay.
Yeah, he's on.
I don't think he hears you. He doesn't seem like he hears you.
Okay. Maybe somebody could text him. I'll swing over real quick. Somebody can just text him, tell him unmute his line. I'm going to swing over to another gentleman. This is not on Captivita, but with our tinctures. I need you all to hear this story about blood pressure, what this has done for him. He's one of my executive directors. His name is Mr. Johnny Bostic. Mr. Bostic, are you there? You're muted also. You're muted, Mr. Bostic.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There you go. Yes,
All
go
right.
ahead.
All right, family. Good to be on this line tonight, but I'm gonna be real quick because I know SVP Teddy Moore has a lot to give us, but I'm gonna just let you know about blood pressure. I'm a retired Marine, so getting out of the Marine Corps, I guess all the stress that I had to go through pushed my blood pressure up. I was taking 4 blood pressure pills. And then when we got the tension, I started taking the tension. My blood pressure used to average between 160, 145 over 93, 94, 95. That was average. So when I came in with that, they was okay with it. But then I started taking the tension. Went in there, checked my blood pressure right around about 139 over 80, 82, 83. Doctor looked at it, said, your blood pressure getting down. So that looked good. And I went back again. My blood pressure this time was right about 128 over 75. He said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm taking some stuff that really helped me out. You know, sometimes you don't want to tell them too much what you got going on. He said, well, keep doing what you're doing. We're going to monitor your blood pressure. Monitor my blood pressure. My blood pressure average started beginning right around about 125, between 128, 125 over 77, 75. And he said, what we're going to do, we're going to start removing you off your blood pressure. So he started taking me off 1. And it was still averaging right around the same. Then he took me off 2. Then he took me off 3. He said, I about could take you off all 4 of your blood pressure medicine, but because I know that you have a service connected with the hypertension, I'm gonna have to leave you on at least not 1, but a half. So I take a half of blood pressure and my blood pressure pill by taking the attention, and I'm taking the 6,000 milligram and taking that, my blood pressure right now average anywhere between 125 over 70, 75. That's my average. And the doctor said, keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm telling you, the products work, and it's been years since I've been taking this. So I am right now excited about what it's doing. So take the products, and I'll yield the mic back to SVP Teddy Moore.
Appreciate that, Mr. Bostic. I'm going to go to Mr. Silverman in 1 second. I have a young lady that's on, and she's in her profession, she has very few minutes, but I did ask her to come on because she loves the coffee, and she's been giving me so many referrals to professional neurosurgeons and different doctors. So I'm going to try to say her name correctly because I did write it how I can pronounce it. But if Miss Sanara Ingram, if you're on the line, could you unmute your line, please?
Yes. Thank you, Teddy.
Hey, how you doing?
I am good. How are you?
Great. I'm doing great, doing great. Yeah, so could you just tell us a little about how you enjoy the coffee and why did you actually introduce me to other people and you give me other referrals? That's why I gave you that sample, that B52 also.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I think the first time I had it was I tried it at a farmer's market. Um, and that was about 2 years ago. I have tried multiple different coffees. I'm a big coffee person and I usually don't like flavors, but I think this is the only company where I just love the hazelnut flavor. I think it's not too strong. It's just really good balance. And unlike other coffee, it doesn't give me jitters. I can have it in the afternoon and just have a constant energy level. And I really like that about it. I don't even like going to any coffee shops anymore.
Well, I appreciate that. It really makes me feel good to hear that because you contacted me and had other people. See, that's the beautiness about what we do. If people enjoy your products, it's like a good movie. They're going to go and tell people, and then they're going to tell people, and they're going to tell people, and they're going to tell people. And Miss Ingram she's going to be at a point where she's going to get free coffee. She's not got to pay for any coffee.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's going to happen. So we really appreciate you, and I'm glad everyone who's now. Could you just say this real quick? If a person's a non-coffee drinker and a non-tea drinker, what would you say far as, because you already said a couple of key things. You said it doesn't make you jittery. It makes you feel good and it does give you energy. So what can you say to some non-coffee drinkers? Because a lot of times people think it's 460 grams of caffeine, it's all jittery, no good taste. So what can you say to the people about our coffee?
I think if anyone's gonna start coffee, this is a good way to start because it's mild. It's not the flavor is not too strong and it's not too bitter. So um, as long as you customize it enough, it's just a very easy start. So you don't have that feeling of if people don't drink coffee, I've been there and it just doesn't feel right in your heart and the palpitations and all that. But in 2 years, I have not had any problems with this one. And like I can have 4 cups a day and I'll be okay.
I know that's right. That's awesome. That's amazing. Thank you very much, Ms. Ingram. If you could just hold on for a minute, we're going to get ready to have a drawing after this last person. So if you never know, your name might get drawn. I don't know. We got Amber, Miss Cynthia, and Danette. They're pulling through names right now. So somebody's going to walk away with a nice gift, and we're going to give out 3 of them tonight. So Platinum Dave Silverman, are you on? Because we want to know how much weight you lost. You're melting away from us. Are you on? For some reason having problem. But I go the last I heard he had dropped about 50 pounds. That's excellent. I know everything else is working for him. He's moving around real quick and everything. So that was kind of his testimony. So before I get in my training, I'm going to turn it back over to Cynthia. Cynthia, you got quite a few people to pull through in your hat. Let's see whose name and let them know what they're going to be receiving from corporate.
Well, thank you all for listening to Teddy and for letting us see your beautiful faces. It's always nice to have a corporate call and see the people with whom we're all speaking. And as Teddy mentioned, we're going to pull a few names of those of you who have chosen to let us see your beautiful face while on the call. And the first name, and we're going to come back in another 10 minutes or so and share another one. The very first name that's been pulled is Eddie Trailer. Eddie, thank you so much for being on tonight's call. And we have a little surprise for you. It will be in your next order from Oxygen, or you can call us tomorrow and we'll make arrangements to ship it out. We have a little coffee bundle, an Oxygen notebooks, a couple of Oxygen stickers, a phone spinner, and it will all be nicely packaged in an Oxygen black bag. So that's for you, Eddie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. And thank you for being on the call. Thank you for being on time. And thank you for participating by sharing your beautiful face with us.
Okay. My hearing kicked in. Did you say Teddy or you said Eddie?
Eddie Trailer.
Oh, okay, Eddie. Okay. All right. All right. Congratulations, Eddie. Okay, so let me get into a little training real quick. Okay, it's not going to be long. Number one, why this industry? I just wrote down a few notes. Number one, the reason why that I'm very passionate about this industry is because of the health reasons. That's number one. The other reason is the wellness part of it. You heard some amazing testimonies from everyone, and everyone only has a testimony if this was testimony night. Everybody has a testimony, but here's the thing. These particular products have helped so many people over and over and over. I had a gentleman on my team. He said he was in stage 4 cancer. Stage 4. Doctor said nothing to do for him. He started taking the 6,000 tinctures twice a day. And I'm not saying it's going to work for everyone, but he started taking the 6,000 tinctures twice a day. And he came back like 3 months later, and the doctor said, "Sit down, sir. You are benign." And some people in the medical field understand that. Nothing detected. These products are amazing. So, when I told you earlier, you can write your own check. In this industry, you really can. It's not like your regular 9 to 5, or you put in some overtime. But in this business, watch this. Listen, if you do the work, you can write the check. So this is what I say: write a faith check. Write a check, something that you want to earn this month, and put it in your subconscious and watch you can go out and make it happen. I think that we've kind of lost the ability to dream sometimes. Sometimes we need to dust our dreams off and go back and understand why did we get involved in this arena? It had to be something. It had to be something that made you passionate about this. It had to be something that you want to share people. It's something now. I read a book, The First Year Network Marketing by Mark Yornell, and the first thing I did, I said, I got to figure out about family. Why it's so hard to sell to my family? And when I read it, I got it. If you have not read it, let me give you a hint. Your family's only there to practice on them, to get rid of your nose. Your family is there to get what they call a hookup. Your family is there to say they don't want to give you the money because they think that they're making you rich. That's what the family said. But then you're going to get some family members, okay? So I'm just telling you that in this arena, you got to take great advantages. And listen, if you're taking notes, write this down. This is what I found out. When you become a problem solver, you got the industry licked. When you become a problem solver, now watch this. When you first joined the company, somebody solved your problem. Think about it. Somebody solved your problem. Somebody told you there's another way where you can diversify your income, and it started happening for you. Somebody said there's a way that you can get a great tax break, and some of you all take advantage of the tax breaks. Now we have the wellness products and we have the equity. That's a problem solver. For the last so many years, I was talking to Vic. I said, "Baby, we got to figure out these investments. I don't understand how to do stocks. I don't understand how they say you buy high, you go low. You got to know when the closing, when call, and all. I don't margin call. I don't know all that stuff. But when they came out with equity, oh, I was tuned in. You better call Sal. I think that's the attorney, the one that did it. I never forget it. So you better call Sal, because when he broke it down and told us about the equity, and the thing I enjoy about the equity, and this is all part of your conversation, the thing I love about the equity is that we're all part of it. I don't care if you're in California with Patricia Lordiat, in New York with Yvonne and Jovis, or if you're in Wisconsin or wherever you are at, we are all part of the equity. Everything that happens, whether if you sell a product, you get a partner, you get a leadership board, there's shares going in. And I'm gonna tell you something. Corporate never surprises me. They got something on the market that your socks will roll up and down. I tell you, it's on the horizon. Just trust me on that one, okay? Another little key is you got to take the attention off yourself. Okay, take your Dave. Give me a thumbs up if you're able to take your phone off mute, and I'll bring you in after the next one, because I tried to bring you in, but you didn't come off mute. So another thing you have to do, you have to take the attention off yourself. When you get caught up in yourself, it's not easy to get to anyone else. You got to take. Watch this. It's not about you as a representative. It's about your boss. Who is your boss? Your client, your organization, your customers. That's Miss Ingram is my boss. Miss Ingram is my boss. She's not in the business, but she's my boss. You know why she's my boss? Because when she calls me and she says she needs someone, I'll make sure she gets taken care of. She's my boss. She pays me. So think about that for a second. You should have multitudes of boss. You should be a servant to your boss. That's just the bottom line. So, see, we make it too hard. If this thing was difficult, I wouldn't be involved in this company. It's got to be easy. It's got to be basic. It got to make sense. And it makes sense, it makes dollars. Also, you got to attract who you want to be, who you want to become. You attract who you become. So there goes your personal development. There goes you knowing your craft about your company. You attract people because you're attractive. They're attractive because you know what you're talking about. You know where you're coming from. You stand on your company. You believe in this. Even if they don't believe it, you have to believe in it. You know why? Because the world is a circle. Things come around. And I guarantee you somebody on here say, you're exactly right. 3 years ago, somebody said he had nothing to do with it. But when they found out I was committed to my commitment, they decided to join. Because a lot of times people are just looking for people who are committed. I heard Platinum Dave say the other day somebody tried to recruit him in another company, and they done been through 5 companies. I don't know how anybody. I don't mean to be laughing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Edit that. Cut that out. I don't mean to be laughing. But how you want me? How you want me to swim down the stream where crocodiles and alligators and stuff is? You send me somewhere where ain't no crocodile, alligator. I don't want to be eaten alive. Okay. Act as you already accomplished your goal. I only got 2 more things. We're gonna have another drawing real quick. Okay. Here we go. Act as you already accomplished your goal. That's what faith is all about. Act like you already accomplished your goal. When I was an IMR, executive trainer, I saw myself as an SVP. I didn't wait till I became an SVP and start acting like an SVP. I act like I was at the ET level. You got to act like the next position. So when you get there, you don't say, okay, what I got to do as executive director. What I got to do as national director. What I got to do as SVP. You do it now. Always, and watch this, always give more than you get paid for. Ask Miss Ingram. She'll tell you. When she she bought another product, I gave her something to sample. I'm gonna give her something else to sample. You know why? Always give more than what you get paid for. That's the art of networking. Watch this. And I'm not here to do the training, but your net worth is your network. And you got to learn that concept. And one other thing, it's got to be done in God's timing. And I'm going to talk about that in my closing. And spend meditation time with yourself sometimes. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and go to Cynthia. Cynthia, if you don't mind, go ahead and pull 2 names because I know we're almost at the hour. And then I'll just go ahead and finish the call if you don't mind pulling 2 names.
Hi, Teddy. Well, first of all, I see that Mr. Silverman is on the call, so I don't know if you're able to unmute him and give him an opportunity to speak. But I will tell you, I've already drawn the next, or Amber and Danette have drawn the next name, and it's Miss Brantley, Miss Evian Brantley. Is she on the call with us?
She's there. I see her. She has stripes, sideways stripes.
Yes, I am. Oh my God. Woo!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on the call early, for sharing your beautiful face with us. If you want to call the office tomorrow, that would be great. We can make arrangements to get your gift to you, either in your next order or separately. We prefer to put it in your next order so you know when it's coming and can easily track it. That way we can be assured it makes it to you. So that would be preferable. Thank you again for being on the call. And Teddy, do you want me to give it back to you so you can invite Dave to speak for a minute if he's available? I just saw him.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Silverman. Platinum, you have the mic on your testimony with Captivita.
Oh, hold on a second, guys. I'm all screwed up here.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep. We can hear you perfect.
Okay. Hold on a second. Can you see me? Okay.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay. My camera's missing. Okay. Well, wow. I didn't even know I was going to get brought on. I would have dressed up a little more. We used to call this back in the day in the business the 2-minute tap because we had one of our former leaders in the company who passed away, Mr. William Fawcett. We'd find out as we introducing, you'd hear your name and you realize you're about to speak. So, but I think this was a fantastic call. I think we're in a great place right now. And, Mr. Moore, I want to congratulate you on fantastic accomplishments this month, hitting all those goals. Now you've got, got me fired up. We got to have some people replace your name because your name can't be there every month. We've made that decision. But what it shows you is, if you look at this, you're seeing a lot of the senior vice presidents and are taking the top positions. And understand, we've talked to a lot of our people already. So it's just that we're in the trenches constantly. We get more no's typically than most people get, even talked to. So what I can say is, the place the company's in right now is exciting. Summer is a great time. We're out and about. We're seeing people. We've come out of, in the Northeast, till mid-April. Everyone's in their cabins. No one comes outdoors. So take advantage of everything that Mr. Moore brought up on the call. Take advantage of all the other promotions that are available. And, the other thing I'll say is, it's your business. You can dabble in it. You can do something big with it, or you can make it really, really big. And what I'll say to people is, I thought about this over the past week, and I'll leave you with this. If you're working a part-time job, you're putting in at least 8 hours a week, 4 to 8 hours a week to a part-time job. So ask yourself, how many are at least putting in that 8 hours, 4 to 8 hours a week minimum into MMT, money-making time, prospecting, gathering customers, building their business. See, whether you know a lot of people or you simply meet someone new, each person knows a couple hundred people. And if they introduce you to their couple hundred people, and let's say 10 or 15 start and they introduce their couple hundred people, before long, you have thousands of people to talk to. So what I'll say is, we have a great point in time. This is the time to take advantage of this company, take advantage of the compensation plan, and let's run, folks. And I'll hand it back to you.
Appreciate it. Before you go, could you tell everyone your tremendous weight loss on Captivita, please?
Yes, I can bring that up too. That was good. So I've been on Captivita. I started. I'll tell you the quick story. I went to the doctor about a year ago, and my doctor said my numbers had gone up. My weight was up, not a lot, but my numbers, my cholesterol was up, my A1C was up, my glucose was up, my blood pressure was up. All the numbers look bad. He went to a company called statins. I'm like, okay, well, how long do I go on those for? It's like a week or two. He goes, no, that's for the rest of your life. I'm like, oh, heck no. Let's try. I got something with my company. I've heard about this Captivita stuff, and I heard great testimonials. I hadn't tried this product. We got it in 2019. I never tried it. And so I ended up losing, just without changing anything. Now I'm starting exercise and stuff. I've lost 40 pounds without exercise or anything else, just because of being on Captivita and changing some of my eating habits. Okay, I love to eat. Eating is enjoyable. I love food. But what I figured out is I can have a smaller portion of it and then go back in an hour or two if I'm still hungry and have another smaller portion, as opposed to just chowing down and then feeling, bloated. So changing a couple things and adding the Captivita in, which really suppressed my appetite. It made it very easy to do. And typically, I don't eat my first meal. I'll tell you, I haven't eaten yet today. I should say that I had a hard-boiled egg earlier because I was hungry. So my wife made some deviled eggs. So I had two halves of a deviled egg. But I'm not even starving yet. But I'm probably going to get off this call. I'm going to go have some food, and this is how my day goes. I'm so busy. I don't miss the eating stuff. So it works out good for me. So I highly recommend try the Captivita. You have to be on it for at least 60 days before to really give it a fair shot. You can't. People have tried for a week or two. You're not going to see it. And for A1C, again, it takes 90 days for it can take up to 90 days to see an A1C, because that measures your glucose over 90 days. It's not a spot level. So, Captivita, fantastic product, my favorite product in the company, along with the new gummies. I love the new Delta 9 gummies are awesome, Cynthia. So thank you so much. Hand it back to you.
All right. Thank you. Cynthia, do you want to add something? You're okay.
I love all the Captivita is I'm not supposed to have favorite products, but Captivita is it for me. I love hearing all the success stories. Listen, if you chose one product and made your most passionate conversation about that product and went out and just shared that story, whether it was Captivita or something else, you'd all be so much further ahead than you can imagine. In a world where everybody's got a little bit of belly fat, which is the most damaging of all, we're all candidates for Captivita. So please, not for me, for yourself. Treat yourself to something special and treat yourself to a couple of bottles of Captivita. You know, the line on my email, if health is your wealth, protect yours with oxygen. Teddy said it again earlier. If health is your wealth, protect your investment with oxygen and make it Captivita. So that's really what I wanted to say. It's my passion product. I love hearing all these great stories. It makes all of us a lot healthier. So thank you for being on the call. I wanted to pull the last name, and we've already actually done that. We appreciate all of you being on the call. We were a little late to get started, but as always, we ended with a robust group of attendees. Oh, and by the way, another person who's done really well with Captivita, Mr. Nelson Gerard. But I digress. The last name, the third person to be a recipient of our little gift bundle for being on the call and for sharing your face, Miss Eva Gordon. Eva, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. I love you guys at Oxygen. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on the call. And one last thing, as you all know, we post little updates to GroupMe in light of this beautiful country and our holiday ahead. The office will be closed on Thursday and Friday. As you know, we're usually closed on Friday, but because of the holiday, we're closed as well. So Amber and Danette can celebrate on Thursday. So Thursday and Friday will be off. As always, we monitor email. So if there's a challenge, you can always send an email to support, or you can leave us a voicemail, because you know we check voicemail and email. And that's all I have. So Teddy, back to you.
Okay,
Back to Mr. Gilbert, who's been on the call with us this whole time.
Okay, great. Does the chairman have anything he want to add? I definitely don't want to leave him out if he wants to say a few words to the field. If he pops in, he could set a pick and he could drive around me and go straight on in for the bucket. But
Mike, is Mike there to wrap up?
I think so. I was going to give something that takes 30 seconds, and I'll turn over to Mike if he's here still. I just want to pass on four things in order that will take you on from now until the next time we meet again. And the four most important things that I truly am inspired by, and I keep them in order. And it helps me with my business. It helps me with my family. It helps me with my Savior. And it definitely helps me with where I worship at. And I always try to keep them in order. And everyone has their own order, but the order has always helped me. Number one is the one who has the higher being for all of us, the one that gave us the breath of life. That's the first person I honor the most. Whether you call him Yahweh, whether you call him Jehovah, whether you call him whatever, but I say he is my Lord and Savior, number one. Number two is my family. You have to take care of your family. It has to be in order, because if you take care of your family, everything else is going to work for you. So keep in mind, family always come next. The third, your business or your set income, where you have finances come in. That's got to be number three, because you got to have the order. And then wherever you worship, if you serve, if you don't worship, I'm not pushing religion on anybody, but giving to the Boys and Girls Club, the Jew Foundation, or the Susie Coleman, but give into something, okay? Because when you keep that in order, I promise you, everything will be in place in your life. Trust me. And there's a lot of people on here because they could agree to it. So we thank you all for coming on tonight. Appreciate your attendance. A lot of energy, a lot of synergy. I haven't had my coffee tonight. I had some juice, but I'm drinking me some coffee after this, because I got some other things I got to do tonight. I got to get back on the phone and get back started. I got to start all over after hearing all these testimonies. So God bless everybody. You guys have a great evening, and thanks for coming on. And we will see you next month on the next corporate call. And thanks for all the leaders and all the speakers and all your attendance. Can't give your time back, but I can say thank you for the time that you've given all of us. Thanks a lot, corporate. You guys have a good night.
Bye for now.
All right.
Bye, everyone.